Have you ever wondered if the magical, mythical places you read about in stories were ever real? We often dismiss legends like Atlantis, El Dorado, or the Hanging Gardens of Babylon as pure fiction. But what if I told you that some of these legendary locations might have a surprising basis in historical fact? And modern archaeology, to find out which legendary sites may have actually existed. Let's start with one of the most famous lost cities. Atlantis, first described by the Greek philosopher Plato around 360 BC. Atlantis was a powerful and advanced island nation that sank into the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune. For centuries, people have searched for it. While no one has found a sunken supercontinent, some compelling theories have emerged. One popular idea links the Atlantis myth to the volcanic eruption on the island of Thera, now Santorini. Around 1600 BC, this cataclysmic event wiped out the advanced Minoan civilization, which had sprawling palaces, vibrant art, and a powerful navy. The sudden and devastating destruction of such a sophisticated society could have easily been passed down through generations, eventually inspiring Plato's story of a sunken city. Archaeologists have uncovered incredible Minoan ruins, preserved in volcanic ash, giving us a window into a world that vanished in a flash, much like the legend of Atlantis. Next, let's journey to the Americas, in search of the legendary city of gold, El Dorado. The Spanish conquistadors heard tales from indigenous tribes about a king who would cover himself in gold dust and dive into a sacred lake as a ritual offering. This story fueled a frantic, centuries-long obsession to find a city paved with gold. While no such city was ever found, the core of the legend is true. The ritual did exist, practiced by the Muisca people in what is now Colombia. Their sacred site was Lake Guatavita. Archaeologists have dredged the lake and found countless gold artifacts, votive figures, and emeralds offerings to their gods. So, El Dorado wasn't a place, but a person, the Golden Man. The legend of a city of gold was a misunderstanding, a myth born from a real and fascinating, sacred ceremony. Described by ancient Greek writers as a marvel of engineering. A terraced garden of exotic plants rising up like a green mountain in the middle of the desert. There was one big problem. No Babylonian texts ever mentioned it. And archaeologists digging in the ruins of Babylon found no definitive evidence. For years, it was assumed to be a romantic invention, but recent research suggests we might have been looking in the wrong place. Dr. Stephanie Della, an Oxford University scholar, has proposed a bold theory. The gardens weren't in Babylon at all, but in the Assyrian capital of Nineveh, hundreds of miles away. She points to ancient reliefs from Nineveh that depict a lush, terraced garden, and Assyrian texts that describe a marvel of irrigation and engineering built by King Sennacherib, matching the descriptions of the Hanging Gardens. It's possible that later Greek historians confused the two great Mesopotamian cities. So, the Hanging Gardens may have existed, just not where everyone thought. Finally, what about the mighty city of Troy, the site of the legendary Trojan War from Homer's epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey? For a long time, scholars believed Troy was a place of pure myth, a backdrop for a story about gods and heroes. That was until the 1870s, when a passionate amateur archaeologist named Heinrich Schliemann began excavations in modern-day Turkey. While we haven't found a giant wooden horse, the archaeological evidence strongly suggests that a real, historical city, which suffered a real war, inspired one of the greatest stories ever told. It reminds us that there's often a kernel of truth waiting to be discovered, buried just beneath the surface of our most enduring legends. And subscribe for more adventures into history's greatest mysteries. See you next time. XD